They walked in like any other couple who had lived life one day at a time. Scuffed sneakers, weathered jeans, plain shirts, and the kind of smiles that come from holding each other through storms. Their names were Leah and David Morrow, and if you passed them on the street, you might not think twice. There was nothing flashy about them, not their clothes, not their posture, not even the way they hesitated near the door of the city's most upscale jewelry store. But there was something honest, something steady in the way they held hands. They stepped inside together. No one paid much attention at first. They looked like people who might have wandered in by mistake, unsure of where they were or how much the items cost. But when Leah's eyes landed on a stunning diamond necklace displayed beneath a glass case, she leaned forward slightly, her gaze soft but full of admiration. That's when everything changed. Behind the counter, the store manager man named Preston Hall caught sight of them. His eyes scanned their shoes, their shirts, their lack of shopping bags. His smile tightened, the kind of smile that only appears when someone is already judging you. He whispered something to one of the clerks, adjusted his silver cufflinks, and approached. "I'm afraid this section is reserved for serious buyers," Preston said, loud enough to be overheard by a nearby couple examining engagement rings. His tone was controlled, but the chill in his voice was unmistakable. David blinked. Leah's smile faded just a bit, but she didn't flinch. "We understand," she said softly. The two exchanged a quiet look. Without a word, they turned and began walking back toward the entrance. The hush of the store grew heavy with a few stifled chuckles. Preston stood proudly behind them, nodding to himself as though he had performed his duty of keeping the store exclusive. What Preston didn't know was that in a few short minutes, the entire dynamic of the room and perhaps his career would turn upside down. Outside, Leah and David paused. They didn't say much. They didn't need to. The pain in their eyes spoke volumes. But it wasn't pain from surprise. It was the pain of familiarity, the kind you carry when people mistake humility for inadequacy. Leah squeezed David's hand, whispering something only he heard. He nodded. Then they walked a few steps further down the sidewalk and stopped beside a sleek black vehicle that gleamed like a mirror. Not just clean, but immaculate. The kind of car that turned heads. From a store window, Preston caught sight of it. His brow furrowed. He wasn't the only one who noticed. Whispers shifted from mockery to confusion. David opened the passenger door for Leah with a quiet grace. That's when a sharply dressed man emerged from across the street. He walked briskly toward them, calling out, "Mr. and Mrs. Morrow, it's an honor to see you again." He bowed slightly as he approached. His name was Raymond Cross, a powerful figure in the city's luxury industry, owner of several real estate firms and high-end boutiques. His arrival caused a stir even among passers-by. Inside the store, the atmosphere shifted. Customers who had been pretending to browse were now glued to the glass, watching the interaction with disbelief. The sales clerks whispered nervously. Even Preston looked pale. Raymond spoke warmly with David and Leah, shaking their hands. Then he glanced at the jewelry store and frowned. "This store should know better," he said, voice tinged with frustration. He pulled a card from his wallet and handed it to David. Gold lettering gleamed across the front. It read, "Private Client. Executive Access." From inside, Emily, the youngest sales associate, felt her stomach twist. She had seen how Leah had admired the necklace. She had noticed David's gentle encouragement. And now, watching this unfold, she felt the weight of her silence earlier. Leah and David hesitated. Then, after exchanging another quiet glance, they turned back toward the store. The mood inside had shifted entirely. The automatic doors opened with a soft chime. The room stilled. Preston rushed forward. "Welcome back," he said too quickly. "I'd be happy to help you personally." David placed the elegant card on the counter. The reaction was instant. Gasp breaths. Murmurs. A few phones subtly pulled out for photos. "We had planned to make a meaningful purchase today," David said. "But we're reconsidering." Leah remained quiet. She looked directly at Preston, eyes unwavering. "Maybe we should take our business elsewhere," she said simply. The silence that followed was deafening. Just then, the door opened once more. In walked a man whose presence was almost mythic in the luxury industry. Vincent Latham, the founder and CEO of the jewelry brand itself. He moved with quiet confidence, no fanfare, no entourage, just purpose. He walked straight to Leah and David and extended his hand. "Mr. and Mrs. Morrow," he said respectfully, "we're honored by your presence. Please allow me to personally make this right." Leah nodded once. David remained composed. Then Vincent turned. "Preston Hall," he said evenly, "you're dismissed. Effective immediately." A gasp moved through the store. Preston stammered, but found no words. He backed away slowly, shoulders hunched. Vincent turned to the staff. "Let this be a reminder. We never judge clients by appearances. Ever." Then he gestured toward the back lounge. Leah and David moved toward it quietly. Before entering, David paused. He turned to Emily. "You noticed," he said. "You didn't say anything, but you saw. That matters." He handed her a card. It was an invitation to apply for a leadership program at one of David's companies, an investment firm focused on ethical business. Emily blinked back tears. In the lounge, Leah and David did not demand compensation. They asked for something simpler, a set of matching family bracelets, one for each sibling, niece, and nephew who had stood by them when they had nothing. The staff rushed to accommodate. Out front, the remaining customers stood in quiet reverence. The lesson was written in the air. Real wealth doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It carries itself with dignity, even in the face of ignorance. By the end of the day, the story had made its way across social media, local news, and even national outlets. But David and Leah Morrow disappeared from the spotlight as quietly as they had entered. No press, no statements. Just two hands clasped tightly together, walking into the evening light.